Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here, bringing you another Minecraft World War II aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and building the Boulton Paul Defiant. The Boulton Paul Defiant was a British interceptor aircraft that served with the Royal Air Force during the World War II. The Defiant was designed and built by Boulton Paul Aircraft as a turret fighter without any fixed forward guns, also found in the Blackburn ROC of the Royal Navy. In combat, the Defiant was found to be effective at destroying bombers, the role it was designed for, but was vulnerable to the Luftwaffe's more maneuverable single-seat Messerschmitt Bf-109 fighters. The Defiant had been designed to destroy unescorted bombers by means of beam or ventral attacks, and therefore lacked forward-firing armament. That proved to be a great weakness in daylight combat with fighters. It did, however, find success when it was converted to a night fighter. It eventually equipped 13 squadrons in this role, compared to just 2 squadrons as a day fighter, though this was mainly due to slow initial production. In mid-1942, it was replaced by the better-performing night fighters, the Bristol Beaufighter and the de Havilland Mosquito. The Defiant continued to find use in gunnery training, target towing, electronic countermeasures, and air-sea rescue. Among RAF pilots, it was nicknamed the Daffy. So yeah, the Defiant here is a really interesting aircraft, and one you don't really see kind of too much basically designs kind of trying to go for what this was trying to do. So as I mentioned, it has no fixed forward firing guns, so no guns in the forward fuselage or the leading edge of the wings. Instead, it relies just on a quad machine gun set up on the back, so like a turret you would find on a bomber, and it would basically fly underneath the bombers, and it would fire up into them and basically shred them from below. When you think about it, it's a pretty interesting idea, and obviously a good idea for unescorted bombers. However, when it went against actual combat aircraft, it severely lacked and was very vulnerable to Bf-109s or whatever fighters the Luftwaffe had escorting those bombers. So really interesting stuff here, and I think it's a cool aircraft, kind of a fun one to go ahead and build. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in here, take a quick look here at the Boulton Paul Defiant Mk.I. So again, to start with, we have the aircraft obviously in the very standard RAF camo scheme with the brown and the green. So very common, and it also has a little bit of a white underbelly, or a little off-tone white underbelly there. You have the front of the aircraft here, your props. You then have the obviously the front nose here. You have the cockpit, which has the pilot and then also a gunner. So you have a crew of 2 on board. The wings, the RAF logos on the wings, pretty straightforward. You have the RAF logo on the side of the aircraft as well. And then we have the tail of the aircraft. Again, really nothing too crazy or fancy about it. And you also have the basically radio antenna, or basically radio wire, whatever you want to call it, located on the bottom of the aircraft, which again, something kind of a little unique with this aircraft, but when you think about it, makes sense. You don't want to have the wire above your gun that's going to be firing. So pretty cool stuff. Really happy with the way this aircraft came out, and should be a cool addition to your Royal Navy scenes if you're trying to build some Battle of Britain or something like that type of designs. With that though, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so beginning with our first layers here, we'll be going ahead and start with layers 1 and 2. Now we're starting with these layers because it's going to give us a better base of the aircraft to kind of build off of, and also layer 1 is super simplistic, so it's just kind of easier to do everything all together here. In addition, if you were completely new to my Minecraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials, I like to do half on camera, half off for my aircraft. What this means, I'm going to be building the center line of the aircraft on camera, and then the right side, it'll be up to you guys to take the right side and copy it over to the left side. This aircraft, for the most part, is completely symmetrical, so whatever we do on one side will be done to the other, unless I talk about that being otherwise. With that though, let's go ahead and dive into this aircraft with our first layer. And also just a little note, I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, but this is going to be for the in-flight version only. The landed version obviously would sit at an angle, so we are not able to obviously build that version in there, because we'd have to completely design the aircraft differently. Anyways, let's get started here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place down a row of 5 of these polished diorite top slabs. This is going to be the color for our underbelly. And then we're going to have this row of 5, and again, they're top slabs, so they're on the top portion of the block and not on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and place down a upside down diorite stair here, and then we're going to place down 2 iron trap doors forward from that upside down diorite stair. We're going to go ahead and also place down 2 iron trap doors going back from this last polished diorite top slab on the back. Beneath this stair here, we're going to place down an end rod that comes down, And then going back from the end rod, we're going to place down a row of 8 of barrier blocks. So you have a row of 8 of barrier blocks. You can also use structure blocks or void blocks. Basically, you just want an invisible block that you can connect a button to, and each version of Minecraft kind of has their own block type that they use. So we have this row of 8 that's going to go back from that forward end rod, and then we're going to go ahead and go up at an angle, place down 3 more barrier blocks, and then we're going to have an upside down end rod. So very simply, you'll just place down a block above, and then an end rod that comes down like so. And then for our buttons here, we're going to go ahead and make the cable. So for the buttons, we're going to place down 3 buttons on the bottom of these rear 3 blocks. Then for these 4 blocks here, so these 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to place down buttons on the left side. You can also place the buttons on the right side. However, you only want them on one side. You don't want a double layer like that. You don't want that. You want to have just one side of those barrier blocks have the buttons. And again, it doesn't matter. It can be either the left or the right side. Then on these 4 barrier blocks here, we're going to place down buttons underneath those 4 blocks just like that to go ahead and complete your cabling there, and that's going to kind of wrap up our center line. Now moving out to the sides, now we're going to take our polished diorite slabs. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top slabs, the first one starting off the stair, and then an iron trapdoor here on the end. We're going to go ahead and then place down another row of 3 of slabs, and then 2 iron trapdoors, another 2 slabs, and then a row of 3 of iron trapdoors. We're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron trapdoors, and then a second row of 5, and then after that a third row, and then just 2 iron trapdoors come off this section here. So basically looking at it from up above, this is what you should have for the top-down view once you take the right side and copy it over to the left side. Again, this right here is our center line, and everything on the right side is the same as on the left side, as you can see. So once you have that copied over, that's going to wrap everything up we have for layers 1 and 2, and with that we'll be going ahead and moving on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block that's going to go on top of this iron trapdoor, this very front one, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of green terracotta back from it, a total of 7 back, so you have a total of 8 green terracotta blocks overall. Now, one thing I do want to go ahead and mention real quick also is that we're going to be going ahead and leaving the camo for the end of the build. I'm going to be building the aircraft totally just in a green color scheme, and then we'll be talking about the camouflage at the end of the video. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier tutorial-wise to do instead of trying to, you know, continue to mix all these blocks and stuff and make it a little confusing. So we have our green terracotta, our row of 8. We're going to go ahead and go to the front. We're going to place down a polished diorite full block and a polished diorite top slab. On the back here, we're going to go ahead and take our diorite, and we're going to place down a row of 4 of blocks back, and then we want to place down 2 upside down pistons. And an alternative to these pistons, if you are not on Java, so this could be again more of a Java feature, would be to place down a polished diorite upside down stair and a polished diorite top slab instead. Java, we have a special tool where we can actually modify these pistons to help kind of create the slope here for the aircraft. So again, if you are on Java, you can place down the pistons. If not, I would recommend the stair and the slab. After those blocks, we're going to place down another upside down stair. This should be on top of the end rod. And then we're going to place down another top slab and then 2 dark oak trapdoors back. For some reason, these buttons got deleted, so let me just go ahead and fix those. But yeah, basically something like that there. And then we have our 2 dark oak trapdoors, and that's going to create our center line. Now going up to the front, we're going to place down a row of 2 green stained glass panes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these mossy cobblestone walls, 2 glass panes, and then a white stained glass pane. We're going to go ahead and then place down a row of dark prismarine slabs of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to place down a row of 4 of end portal frames, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a green terracotta block. Next row here, we're going to place down 2 dark prismarine slabs, then 3 end portal frames, and then a green terracotta block on the end here. We then want to go ahead and place down 2 daylight detectors, turn these to the night mode, and then 1, 2, 3 dark prismarine slabs. Or sorry, actually 4 prismarine slabs. And then we're going to place down again 2 dark oak wood trapdoors. And again, 3 daylight detectors turned to the night mode like that. Now, after that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves our polished diorite. And we're going to start off by going ahead and placing down 1 and 2 full blocks coming off that green terracotta block there, and then 1 full block here. We're going to go ahead and then place down a top slab on the rear. And then we want to place down a row of 3 of top slabs, and then 1 up here in the front. We're going to go ahead and then switch over to iron trapdoors, and from this top slab here, we're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors back, then 3 iron trapdoors, and then 2 on the front there. So it's going to basically form a wing shape that looks like so. We then also want to go ahead and take zombie heads, and we're going to place down a row of 3 of zombie heads on the lean edge here of these full blocks and the slab, so it's going to basically form that lean edge up with a wing. With that all done though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 3. Again, here is a top-down view of what this layer should look like from up above. And actually, one quick thing also is on these back 2 blocks, so after the white stained glass pane, we're going to place down 2 skeleton skulls on the side of those blocks. So just go ahead and make sure that also gets added on. Anyways though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 3, and with that we'll be going ahead and moving on to layer number 4. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to get started with here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block that's going to go on top of this top slab here in the front, then a black concrete block forward, and then a skeleton skull coming off the tip of that black concrete block. Behind this, or after this green terracotta block, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 green terracotta, so you have a total of 5. Then we want to take our black concrete, and we're going to place down a row of 6 black concrete blocks. And then after that, we want to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green terracotta blocks going back from those black concrete. Once that's all done, we're going to go ahead and take our green stained glass panes. We're going to place down 2 panes here on the side of these 2 blocks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 mossy cobblestone walls, 2 green terracotta blocks, a dark prismarine stair, green terracotta block, dark prismarine stair, and then a row of 1, 2, 3 mossy cobblestone walls, and 1, 2, 3 green stained glass panes. On the side here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on this green terracotta block, as well as a dark oak wood sign on both sides of these stairs here. So like that. And one thing I did want to go ahead and highlight a little bit is the black concrete here is supposed to be where the interior is going to sit. We're not going to be doing the interior in this build, so I've kind of marked it with black concrete that you can either leave open or build your own interior. But again, we're just going to be leaving this open for the tutorial. Now after that's done, on the front here also, we want to go ahead and place down a row of 2 of item frames on this mossy cobblestone wall and this green stained glass pane. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a black bed in the item frames rotated sideways like so. And then dark oak wood signs on the side of those walls and panes if you are on Java. Again, if you're not on Java, you'll not be able to place down item frames and signs in the same block space. It's not a problem. You'll just have to have the item frames alone without the signs added on. On the very back of the aircraft here, we're going to take our iron trapdoors. We're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors here, then 3, then 2, and then another 2 like this to go ahead and form your horizontal stabilizer. With that all done, we then want to go ahead and go to our wings. We're going to go and grab some green carpet, some blue carpet, and some red red carpet. And we want to go and place down 2 green carpet like this, a blue carpet, red, blue, and then we're going to place down a blue on both sides of the red there, and then a green carpet in that section here, and then 2 on the back. These remaining blocks right here, we're going to go ahead and place down trapdoors on top of them. So it's going to look just like that there. And after that's all done, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 4 of the build. And the one last thing we actually have here is going to be these banners. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the materials and I'll show you guys how to make these RAF logo banners for the side of the aircraft. Alright guys, so when it comes to making these RAF logo banners, it's really simple to make. We're going to need basically 2 blue banners, 2 yellow dye, 2 white dye, and 4 blue dye. We're going to go into our loom. We're going to place down our blue banners and our yellow dye, and we're going to go into the border of yellow around each one of these banners. So you should get 2 of these blue banners with a yellow banner, or the yellow border. We're going to place down our first banner back into the loom, and we're going to go and place our white dye. We're going to go ahead and do a line that goes vertical on the left side, so like this, so it's not completely dividing the banner in half, it's just on this section here. So it's going to look like that. You're going to go ahead and grab that banner there, and you're going to do the same thing here for the other banner, except this time you're going to go ahead and do the line vertically on the right side. So it's going to look like this. You'll grab both these banners, you'll place it back into the loom with your blue dye. Now depending on what side the white line is, so for this side, this banner is on the right side, we're going to go and do the bottom right corner blue, and then we're going to do the top left or top right hand corner blue as well. So you get this shape here. That's going to be our first banner, and our other banner is going to be the same thing, just opposite. So we have blue in the bottom left corner, and then blue in the top left corner. And you get these 2 banners here. And really simply, you're just going to go ahead and go to these 2 walls, so after the dark prismarine stair, and you're just going to place down these 2 banners like this, so that the white is basically toward each other like that. And that's all you need to do to make the logo. Really simple stuff, and once you have that all complete, that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer 4, and we'll be moving on to layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with, here we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor that's going to go on top of this green terracotta block. We then want to place down a row of 2 of dark prismarine, or actually sorry, my bad, daylight detectors turned to the night mode, and then 2 dark prismarine slabs after that. We're going to then place down a row of 3 of black stained glass full blocks, another brick wall, a black stained glass full block, another brick wall, then a green terracotta block, 2 of our end portal frames, 2 dark prismarine slabs, a daylight detector, again turned to the night mode, a green stained glass pane, and then 2 green terracotta blocks, and then a mossy cobblestone wall to go ahead and form your center line there. Now, going up to the sides of the cockpit, we're going to place down 2 black stained glass panes on the side of these first 2 blocks, and then a green stained glass pane on the second one. On this green stained glass pane, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame. We're going to place down an item frame on the side here, and we then want to go ahead and place down a black bed in the item frame, rotate around like so, and then a dark oak wood sign on the side of that glass pane, so it's going to look like that. Then we're going to place down another black stained glass pane after that, another brick wall, black stained glass pane, and then we want to place down 2 zombie heads on the sides of these 2 end portal frames. And coming off this zombie head, we want to go ahead and place down an end rod, like so. And on the side of this glass pane here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign. After that's all finished, we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves barrier blocks, and we're going to place down a barrier block that's going to come off this glass pane here. Then a barrier block that's going to go back at an angle from it, and then same thing one more back. So you have basically a diagonal line here of barrier blocks, like so. And on top of those barrier blocks, we're going to place down stone buttons, like that. Then taking our dark oak wood trapdoors, we're going to place down 2 on here, then a row of 4, and then a row of 3 of green carpet. And that right there is going to basically create what we have for layer number 5 of the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our last final layers. Alright guys, so moving into our last final layers here, we have layers 6 through 8. For these layers here to start with, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull on top of this glass block here, a narrow brick slab behind it, and then a daylight detector turned to the night mode like so. We then want to place down a piston on this block here. An alternative to the piston can either be a black stained glass full block or another brick slab or something like that. Unfortunately, there isn't a really good alternative because of the way we're going to modify this piston, but black stained glass or a slab would be your best bet. Now around this piston, we're going to go ahead and place down zombie heads just like that to go ahead and kind of help form this domed look here for this gun. And then we want to place down 2 end rods coming off of these wither skeleton skulls going forward like that to go ahead and complete our second set of barrels. Now once that's done, we're going to go to the tail of the aircraft. We're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks here, and then a green stained glass pane on the end. Then we're going to place down a green stained glass pane on top of this block, green terracotta block here, dark oak wood trapdoor on the back, and a dark oak wood trapdoor on top there to go ahead and form the vertical stabilizer. We do want to go ahead and take this banner design, and we're going to place it on both sides of this green terracotta block. It's a white banner that has a red line on the left side and a blue line on the right side. Again, really simple. I'm not going to go and show you guys how to make it in a loom because I think it's simple enough, but that banner design there is going to go on both sides of that green terracotta block. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our propeller here for the aircraft to go ahead and basically finish this thing and bring it all together. We're going to go ahead and go off this this black concrete block, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. We're going to delete the first 3 blocks, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 wither skeleton skulls coming off that block like so. We then want to grab our polished blackstone. We're going to place down a polished blackstone one that goes up like so. Another one, and then a wither skeleton skull like that, going up to form your second blade. And the last but not least one is going to come off of this. We're going to place down a block underneath this black concrete block, a wither skeleton to the side, delete that first block, a wall that comes down, and then a block that comes down and out from the wall, and then a wither skeleton skull come off the side of that block. And then we'll delete that like so. And once you have that done, we'll take a look at that, and that will basically complete your propellers here for the aircraft. And the very last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and type in the command /give @p debug or Minecraft debug _ stick. So this command here, you'll press enter and it'll give you this glowing stick. Now this is again more for Java players, but you can take this debug stick, left click the piston until you get selected extended false, right click it and get rid of that wood portion, and the same thing will be done down here on the rear of the aircraft as well. And that right there is going to wrap up with the kind of solid camouflage green colored Boulton Paul Defiant Mk.I Night Fighter. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it. We're going to go ahead and now move into the camouflage. I'm going to talk about a little bit what I did for the camouflage and what you can do for yours to kind of help, bring the build even more together. So I'm going to go and move over to my camouflage plane and we're going to take a look at that. So here we are over at my camouflaged version of the aircraft, and I'm going to go and basically just talk about what I did for my camouflage and how you can go about doing it for yourself. Now, the best thing to do is really honestly to look up reference photos of this aircraft. It's really kind of the best way to do it. However, we are going to be going ahead and kind of talking about what I did for mine, and you're free to copy what I did or do something different or kind of just take it for inspiration. Again, I always recommend if you're doing a bunch of these in one area, change up the camouflage a little bit, change the blocks around here and there. It kind of helps create more of a varied look and kind of a more accurate representation of how this camouflage would have been portrayed. Now, basically, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be going ahead and mixing some brown into the fuselage section with the green. So anywhere that we did the green previously is where we're going to have this brown. Now, this brown is going to be done by going ahead and replacing our blocks that we use for green with brown-looking blocks. For this, I used brown stained glass panes. I used stripped spruce wood blocks. I used spruce wood slabs and stairs for any stairs, and then any trapdoors I replaced with the spruce wood trapdoors, brown carpet, obviously for for the brown sections, and then any place where there's signs or whatever, spruce wood signs, and then you also have the daylight detectors, which I also changed to the night or to the day color because I think it resembles a little bit more closer, or is a little bit of a closer shade to the brown rather than the night version. So basically that's what I went ahead and did here, and I kind of mixed the blocks in a little randomly, kind of trying to show some flow here. So a little bit of brown on the nose, then you have a flow that kind of flows in here to the wing, kind of this big kind of splotch pattern, and then you have kind of a bigger splotch here that takes up a lot of the tip of the wing. And then the midsection, we have a little bit more brown that comes in this section here. And then obviously some brown on the horizontal stabilizers and the tail. And really all you're doing is just kind of mixing those blocks in, trying to create like some splotches and stuff like that. And that's really all you're doing. It's really straightforward and it's pretty easy since it's a pretty small build. But anyways, that's going to pretty much wrap up what I have here for the camouflage. And with that, my tutorial here for the Boulton Paul Defiant Mk.I. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this aircraft and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this design, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be linked from a side of the build, tweet to my channel, or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free for projects you guys are working on. And that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gear 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.